What's going on, everyone? Jeremy from the Quartering, and I almost missed this. It looks like the live stream must have happened last night in the middle of the night, but I assume that's just due to time zone differences. Square Enix actually appears to be in some trouble. It would appear that Final Fantasy 15 has been a disaster. We've got cancellations across the board, reports of the company losing over $30 million. The TLDR is they've canceled all but one future DLCs for Final Fantasy 15, including that they are going to keep episode Arden, but they're going to cancel Arnea, Luna, Noctis, and also the director, Tabata, has left Square Enix altogether. The company is starting a new offshoot company they're calling Luminous, which its main purpose is going to create a studio that can deliver a completely new AAA title to the global market. I don't know why you do this restructure. It doesn't make any sense to me. And due to this directional change, the company has decided to focus really only on AAA titles. But what does that all mean? This comes on the heels of a report that they lost $33 million in their last report. Japanese publisher Square Enix has had a few hits under its belt this year, including Octopath Traveler, yet they appear to be hemorrhaging cash still. Shadow of the Tomb Raider to Octopath Traveler, but it hasn't stopped the firm from losing considerable money. Its latest fiscal report shows a staggering loss of $33 million, which has been attributed to the shift in strategy. Back in March, Square Enix opened Luminous Productions, sharing its namesake with the publisher's proprietary Luminous Studios video game engine, led by Final Fantasy 15 director Hajime Tabata. The original announcement stated that the new developer would focus on a new AAA title, bringing innovative games and other entertainment content to a global audience. While Square Enix is expected a loss considering the new studio has yet to release anything, it's believed to be much steeper than anticipated. Prior to the latest earnings call, Square Enix revealed a change in strategy, solely focusing on large-scale, high-quality AAA games, which best leverage the developer's strengths. Reports have fixated on the omission of other entertainment, which was set to include Final Fantasy XV's full-length prequel movie, among other transmedia products, as the reason for the company's reported $33 million loss for the 6 months that ended September 30th. It is yet to be confirmed whether these products remain in production. I'm going to guess no. I mean, if you're going to cancel all the DLC you had promised people, and you know what was really a punch in the gut, is that Square Enix basically had this live stream event scheduled. People showed up, and then they just said, yeah, we're going to cancel most of our projects. They went on to I have a quick article on what they actually canceled. The saga of Final Fantasy 15 will cut off abruptly as Square Enix last night announced that they've canceled 3 of its 4 upcoming story DLCs. The director, Tabata, has left the company, planning to start his own company for his own project. So that's about the end of that. The DLC story episode starring antagonist Arden is still coming, as are most of the multiplayer comrades and some Final Fantasy 14 crossover Gibbons, but the DLC focused on Arnea, Luna Freya, Noctis are in the bin. Final Fantasy 15 global brand director Akio Ofuji said that in a video presentation that the company has made an important directional change and that the decision has been made to re-examine these projects. He explained that Luminous Productions, the Square Enix studio built in 2018 from the core of the Final Fantasy 15 team to support the game as well as make new games, will focus on new. Square Enix expanded elsewhere that they decided to focus Luminous's development efforts on large-scale, high-quality AAA titles, which best leverage their strengths. It's interesting. Are you saying that, is Square Enix saying that the Final Fantasy franchise is not a AAA title? I would assume that that's not what they mean. We've seen Square Enix spread themselves thin. They have the Final Fantasy trading card game, which I'm wondering what this means for the continuation of that. We saw the Final Fantasy movie, the prequel movie. That's probably not going to get created. And with Final Fantasy 15 ending prematurely, it seems like maybe that is the decision that led Tabata to go out on their own and start their own studio, which I guess that's good. I mean, I guess in spring of 2019, Final Fantasy 15 will still get their Arden episode, but this financial loss is concerning. The 6-month period seen losses across the board for publisher, according to GameIndustry.biz, with profits halved down to $76 million, and operating income seeing the biggest drop of 61%, hitting a new low of $132 million. Net sales have also dropped 15% 1 year, and ordinary income plunged nearly 50%. Square Enix is keeping its lips sealed on how well its 2018 hits performed. However, Octopath Traveler couldn't stop its video game division from suffering losses. Considering Lara Croft's last outing was only realized on September 14th, there's still a good chance that Shadow of the Tomb Raider could help net sales for the full financial year. Currently, the publisher is remaining optimistic by forecasting net sales increase of 7.8%. I mean, here's the thing. We still have Christmas. Not everybody owns Octopath Traveler right now on the Switch. There's going to be a lot of Switches under the Christmas tree this year worldwide. And people who like kind of that old school RPG style game will definitely want Octopath Traveler. It's one of the best games I've played on Switch. That and Breath of the Wild are two what I would consider must-own titles on the Switch. But generally, when a company makes layoffs, they're looking at finances for a year or two in advance. I doubt that they make this layoff if they were really confident that their Christmas sales were going to turn the company around. I mean, it's already November. Why lay people off? Or I'm sorry, why be optimistic? Not necessarily lay people off, but why be optimistic now, just 60 days short of what you expect your sales forecast to be? And I feel really bad. I own Final Fantasy 15. I played it for about 9 hours, and kind of that was about it. Maybe it'd be good to fire it up again. I didn't really get into the story that much. I mean, it was fun, but I am a Final Fantasy fan. The trading card game, I've owned pretty much every game since 2. And this one hurts the hardcore fans the most, the ones that are still playing Final Fantasy 15, the ones that are relying on the DLC. And what this is going to do is this is going to really hurt the credibility of Square Enix going forward if they ever make any sort of promise of long-term DLC when you want to buy their game, because you're just not going to know if all of a sudden they're going to decide, well, we didn't have a good quarter, so we're going to go back on what we promised you because reasons. It's pretty unfortunate. I don't know what this means for Square Enix. I highly doubt they're in trouble of closing or anything like that. But this is a pretty rough quarter, a pretty rough 6 months for them. And it'll be interesting to see what the restructure means for future Final Fantasy and Octopath Traveler titles, as well as things we may not know about in the works now. I hope you enjoyed this video. I've got a third video planned today. So if you made it this far, make sure you check back for that one. And we'll talk to you again real soon.